Go.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Paul's Cinema Picks of the Week. My name is Paul Westbrook. I'm your host and Brantford's film enthusiast, as we all know. And today we're going to talk about one of the benchmark monster movies of all time. And no, it's not Frankenstein, it's not Dracula. It's the 1933 Merian C. Cooper classic, King Kong. Yes, it's the story of a giant gorilla that lives on Skull Island and is sent to New York City. Well, he's captured and sent to New York City. And, of course, the famous scene on the Empire State Building with the airplanes. And, I wanted to mention about not only this movie, but the subsequent remakes as they go along. And, King Kong was a benchmark monster classic at its time. Like Wizard of Oz, it was probably one of the most seen movies of all time. And, between that, Gone with the Wind, Wizard of Oz, in the 1930s alone, they made these blockbuster films. And, yes, including Frankenstein and Dracula. And, all of these films were ones that people flocked to the theaters to see. And, King Kong was, it was a little bit scary, but it was tragic at the same time because, like I said, the ending where Kong falls to his death off the Empire State Building and the airplanes. And, I was actually telling a story that I met Fay Wray once, the actress that is in The Hand of King Kong there. I met her in the 70s when I was a little kid, and we actually went to a convention. Really, sort of like a film type convention. I don't know, maybe Dad liked it or something like that. But anyway, we went there, and I remember somebody said to me, hey, that's the lady that was screaming when King Kong grabbed her. I was like, oh, I didn't know that. He said, because I liked movies, so I figured I'd go over and meet her. Very nice lady. She was up in years at the time. I don't like to say old, so I'll say she was up in years. But I told her that your movie scared me as a kid. And because I was a kid, so your movie scared me. She said, well, it scared a lot of people. But then she told me that King Kong was actually a miniaturized model you could probably fit on your table. And after that, I wasn't so scared. But I said I did love the movie. I had a comic book adaptation one time. I think I lost it. I can't really find it. But the one scene that really did frighten me was the scene when the men are on Skull Island. They're searching for Ann Darrow, who's been captured by Kong and taken to his cave. And the men are going through the jungles and stuff, and they see all these different dinosaurs. And this one was like a brontosaurus or something like that, and he was very vicious, and he was going after the men. Scenes like that scared me. And I was also going to mention that there was a scene in this movie that was not really shown, but in the special features they actually do a recreation of it just to see what it was like. It was a scene, and it was actually used in the Peter Jackson one, which I'll talk about later. But in the scene, the men fall into a crevice in a cavern down below, and there's all these insects and stuff like that, and the insects are eating the men and everything like that, and they didn't show that in the original print of Kong. I probably figured that they thought it was too gory or something like that, but in the special features they do they state a recreation of it, even black and white, just like you can't even tell almost that it's not part of the movie, but they do a recreation of it, and it's certainly something to see. And you get a 7-part documentary as well on the whole making of King Kong, and a little talk about the people that made the movie, the two men, which was Ernst B. Schulzak and Merian C. Cooper. And of course, Cooper was the one that directed the film himself, so he decided to actually cast himself in the movie as well. He was one of in fact, the two of them, Schulzak and Cooper, were the pilots that shot Kong down at the end, in the end scene. Elwy Ost, who was my mentor, actually said that when his two kids were born, when each of them were born, he got to show them both a King Kong on television, and Elwy said, well, there's nothing better, not a better way to start life than with a viewing of King Kong. So they got to actually see see the movie themselves at the start. I also have a colorized version of this movie too. Like this one here is black and white, but at home on VHS I got a early colorized version of it as well. So that's one to keep because it's not very rarely seen. So managed to get that. But yeah, this was probably the best big monster movie for its time, which later became with King Kong and Godzilla and all them. But Kong was the one that started it all. Then, okay, I'll just get a drink, and then I'll get right to the next one here. Then in 1976, somebody had the bright idea to remake King Kong. And, of course, this one here is the 1976. You got this one too, sis?
Mm-hmm.
1976 remake with Jeff Bridges, Jessica Lange, Charles Grodin. And, of course, all three of them were pretty famous after this movie as well, especially Jessica Lange and even Charles Grodin. Jeff Bridges had already been well known because he was the son of Lloyd Bridges and brother of Beau Bridges. But anyway, in this movie here, it's a little different. Instead of a movie crew that was in the original, like Carl Denham had a movie crew, in this one here, it's a Petrox oil company, and they're looking for oil reserves on this one. And Jessica Lange plays the lady that goes along with them. And why they'd be looking for oil on an island, I don't know, but nevertheless, they travel to this island, and they see the giant gorilla Kong, and it says here, the scheming oil company shark out to exploit the giant beast to its fullest. So when they see it, they capture it, bring it back to New York, with the usual results. The cheesy thing I absolutely did not like about this one, they had that scene when they're in the stadium, and King Kong, they put a Kong's throne or something like that, throne with the name Kong on it, and they had put a crown on its head. I'm sorry, but I thought that part was a little cheesy for me, because you're used to seeing what the original movie was like and how great it was, and I just didn't feel that they really needed to call him King Kong. So that's what they did for that movie there. Sorry,
Dobby.
Anyway, getting back
Dobby.
to
Come on.
what I was
Leave your uncle alone.
Of course, Kong escapes, and in this one, unlike Ann Darrow, who actually was kind of relieved that Kong was gone, in this one, she actually feels sorry for the creature. So when he's getting shot down by the airplane, she's begging them to stop, as opposed to in the original, where all she did was scream a lot, and then there was no real connection between her and the gorilla. In this one, she feels more connected and more emotional. I thought that added to it, though, and I thought the scenes in New York were really good. It's just that crown scene I didn't really get into, but it was not too bad. But oh well, that's what you do. And John Barry did the music, and of course it was Dilo De Laurentiis who produced it, and it was directed by John Guillermin. And finally, we come to the Peter Jackson remake in 2005, which I thought was more true to the spirit of the original film. And you got Naomi Watts, you got Adrian Brody, and you got Jack Black, who are the three most known people in the film. Oh wait, Andy Serkis. He actually, from Lord of the Rings, Gollum?
Kind of.
He played the Cook Lumpy, and he also played the part of Kong himself. With motion capture and stuff to make the expressions on the face better. And in this one here, on Blu-ray, you get an extended version of the film, which was longer than the theatrical cut, and the theatrical cut is also included. So it's like you get a 3-hour, 6-minute film against a 3-hour and 24-minute film. And again, it's more true to life because it takes place in the 1930s. They go to the island and they hunt for. Well, it's more or less because Anne they want to do a movie on an island. And of course, they encounter King Kong there again, like they always do in these movies. And that scene I was telling you about with the insects, the ones where they were eating the sailors. In this one, they actually include it in the film, so you get to see the various creatures devouring the sailors and that. And in one very gruesome scene, these two water slugs actually swallow Lumpy whole. So I don't know if you've seen that one or not, sis.
I don't think I have.
Well, you'll be able to see it right here on this. So yeah, to me, my friend Hugh, when we first saw it, he always winced at that. He was like, ugh, that's what. But me, I was kind of like fascinated. Oh, the thing just eats, and goes right down on it, and swallows it right up. It's like he's screaming and everything, and these. But anyway, yes. And then Kong goes to New York, and it was filmed very well. It'll appear really good on Blu-ray, so you'll enjoy it. And yeah, it ends pretty well the same. You know, Kong's on the Empire State Building, and the airplanes are shooting at him, and then Kong falls to his death. And they even do the classic, was Beauty killed the Beast, line that was used in the original film too. So there's a lot of comparisons, and this one paid a lot of tribute to the original version. And yeah, like I said, I went and saw it with my friend and my late friend Hugh Sutherland, and we both enjoyed it. So hopefully my sister will enjoy it too, getting to see this on your big screen there. Get to see a big gorilla. Remember that scene I told you about the slugs?
Mm-hmm.
So
I grew up with you, so not many things scare me.
well, there you go. That's good. That means I can give you this movie.
At least movies. Why?
I can give you this movie safely, knowing that it's not going to scare you. You're probably going to enjoy it. You might wince a little when you see the slug scene where they swallow the guy, and that.
Maybe.
Other than that, it's great, and Jack Black was good. He plays the part that that Bruce Cabot played in the no, Robert Armstrong was the one that played Denham. Robert Armstrong, and Jack Black plays that part too. So it was great. It was terrific, and like I said, it's more closer to the original than the 1976 one, but the 76 had its moments as well. But anyway, for now, that's King Kong, and thank you very much for once again listening to my little ramblings about these movies, which I always like to do. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments below the video here. Yes, make sure it's in the comment section below the video so we can read your comments, and hopefully we can get some more subscribers, because we really need them. And I like doing these shows, and to have subscribers would be really cool. But for now, this is Paul Westbrook reminding you that I'll be seeing you at the movies.